Hello class, how's your day? I hope you are all in a good condition and well prepared for our meeting today. I believe that teaching reading has its own challenges. Students might get easily bored reading stuff for hours in class and at home. But worry not. I will introduce you to two methods of teaching reading you can absolutely practice in your next reading classes, which are guided reading and home reading. The first method is called guided reading. Guided reading is often defined as a self-extending opportunity. So, according to Fountas and Pinel, guided reading is an instructional practice or approach where teachers support a small group of students to read a selected text independently. The goal of this method is to promote opportunity for self-development in reading comprehension. Thus, the practice is student-centered, not teacher-centered. But of course, teachers still have roles in the class. First, as an organizer. Teacher will have to make a group of 4 to 6 students where they will read the same text silently. Hence, class management skills will be needed. Number 2, as an observer. They can once or twice interrupt the group to observe the group's comprehension of the text. Number 3, as a feedback giver. By observing, teacher will know which group or individual that have trouble reading. That is when the teacher should give feedback or correction. Number 4, as a prompter. Teachers will direct them to certain features of the text instruction, clarify ambiguities, and making them aware of the issues of text structure. We will also get to know the steps of guided reading, which are easy to understand. Number 1, of course, selecting the appropriate text. Of course, the text given to the students is well selected by the teacher based on their need, interest, and level of comprehension. Number 2, introducing the text. Before starting any reading activity, the teacher will have to stimulate the students about what they will have in the session. It also will help the students to activate their prior knowledge in the reading activity later. Number 3, of course, reading the text. Students can read in silence or in whispers, and in reading, they are demanded to obtain information and comprehension of the text. Lastly, number 4 is discussing the text, of course. Teacher can start the discussion with 5W1H question to gather detailed information the students have obtained by reading the text. That is all about guided reading. Let's move to home reading. Well, home reading is well known for its other name, which is uninterrupted reading. Why so? It is because home reading is an authentic and individualized practice of reading without being interrupted by a question they have to answer by the end of the session. Nota bene, the reading is done for entertainment without any task following the text. Home reading is designed to develop students' confidence in reading with accuracy, fluency, expression, as well as nurture a love of reading. In achieving this goal, students of course are given a text that is selected by the teacher considering the appropriate level. Teachers of course also have roles in this method. The first role is a resource manager. Teachers will have to provide books or text that students will read. The second role is a helper. Teachers should be ready to answer every question students might ask throughout their reading process. It could be the content, the word meaning, or unfamiliar idioms, etc. There are no specific steps for home reading, but teachers should have attention to the text selection when they have decided to conduct the method. First thing first, the text should be appropriate for students' need and level. Let's say you're teaching a 7th grade students about animal as a topic. Texts or books about animal body parts written in simple structures, easy words, or full-color illustration books will not meet their needs. On the other hand, research journal about animals with a bunch of data will also be too much for them to read at home. So, for a 7th grade student, you might want to give them exposition texts about animals or classic literature about animals like Watership Down. The next thing is that the text should be varied and enjoyable to read. It is true that home reading is the part of students' activity, but it doesn't mean the text should be academic. Remember, the goal of this method is to nurture a love of reading for students. If a 7th grade student were forced to read a novel about patriotism, which she doesn't have interest in at all, what do we expect? Would she willingly enjoy reading the book? Big no. With consideration of the topic and the appropriateness of the level, teachers have to provide students with various texts. Students must have an opportunity to choose a text of their liking. That way, students will develop will and responsibilities to finish the text. So, I can assure you that reading is never a boring session of a class. Alright, I hope this video will help your future teaching session in reading skill. Until we meet again.